Hello, my name is Michael Racz and welcome to the Sales Development Online Summit. Today we're going to be talking about sales development at the top of the funnel, business processes to help you ensure a quicker and faster pipeline. My name, again, is Michael Racz from Market Source. We are a revenue generating partner for about 40 to 50 different clients. As you can see, we're coming from the Deep South and we just had a winter blast. So this happens to be the first snowman that my children and I have built. We got about 8 inches over the weekend. So just to let you know and show you that it is snowing in the South. To start off, I'd like to show you a couple of different things that we do here at Market Source for our accounts. One of them is to score every opportunity. We do this by attributing different factors to the decision-making process when we're engaging accounts. And as you can see on the presentation, we start to look for different attributes for what the buying decision is and who is going to be making the decisions to purchase the product or service that you're selling. And then what we do is we weight those decision criteria based on your ideal customer profile and the persona that you're selling, with the opportunity to take a look at what your product set is, who your buying target is going to be from a segmentation perspective, and who determines and who is going to actually buy the product. And at the end, we start to weight these different categories, and I've set up 5 different examples here. One, do they already purchase your product or similar products? 2, the percentage of purchases within that segment, i.e., is this a new product in the segment? Are you being displaced, or is it an early adapter? 3, we start to look at, how are they going to buy this and why are they going to buy this? And then ultimately, who is going to buy that and when they're going to buy it? So we put together a score, and obviously the higher score, the more attention you want to pay attention to the opportunity. And then we start to look at various different things around partnership, and other different categories that would expand your customer profile and then your scoring for that account. Next, we start to look at a segmentation for these opportunities. We start to look at them from a high share of wallet, medium share of wallet, or lower share of wallet. And you get to take a look at your opportunity and figure out a different type of a cadence, or how many times you would call and interact with that individual. And you start to prioritize your opportunities through segmentation and scoring. Business process design. This is a definite for sales development. What you need to do is you need to be able to understand where your technologies play. You also need to understand what types of tools you're going to be using during the process, what types of emails, and what types of outreach strategies you're going to be touching each one of your clients and accounts. This is important because every opportunity that you come across needs a play. We develop playbooks here, and playbooks are based on the score, the segmentation, the ideal customer profile, and the buyer's journey. If I could blow this map up and make it bigger, each one of these is represented within this process. This process is set forth within your CRM, and it takes you along the path in order to sell efficiently to the actual buyer and or company within your prospect cadence. And then what we start to do is we start to look at performance metrics. These are measurable differentiators for you on a day-to-day basis to understand how many leads you're going to be transacting, how many conversions, how many meetings and opportunities you're setting for your clients. We're also looking at what is the sales cycle, what is the size of the opportunity, and what is the frequency of the opportunities that come into your cadence. It all comes down to performance. How many opportunities have you created? What is the net worth of those opportunities and the average contract value? How many opportunities are won and how many opportunities are lost? Really, from a sales development perspective, your goal is to tee up the business development managers to win opportunities. That could be to increase basket size and frequency of purchases for transactional accounts, or from an enterprise account perspective, is tee them up with what we use here at Market Source ANIM: authority, need, urgency, and money. When we take a look at those, we try to understand who the authority is within the buying group, the urgency when they're actually going to be purchasing your product or service, the money, which is the budget. Do they have budget allotted for it? Do you need to create budget? And the need. So what is the need? What are your positive business outcomes that you're going to be driving? I'm going to switch screens and go back to the scorecard in order to give you another scorecard that I put together for this opportunity to give you a better idea of what it looks like in the scoring scenario. So first of all, we have the product mix. Obviously, what you're selling into your accounts. Are you selling multiple SKUs and or services or products? What is the business case that you've developed for that product or service? And then the opportunity anchor. The opportunity anchor is your differentiator. The differentiator is what's going to set you apart from your competition for your product or service to stand out. So when your business development team or your account development team do engage based on the opportunity that you've created for them, they've got this account and sales strategy start to formulate it and started to be outlined. And then we start to look at positive business outcomes. Positive business outcomes are what your customer tells you during the sales development cycle, how your product or service is going to improve their day-to-day position within the company. It could be inward facing within the organization, such as a sales enablement tool or a SaaS product, or it could be external to the company, such as helping them sell more faster, or in any given type of scenario where they're able to increase their sales looking outward. The fifth would be the buying group. The buying group could be in the SMB space, we see one to three different buyers, and in the enterprise space or mid-market, we see as many as 5 different buyers. Those buyers would be categorized as personas. You would have the buying persona who actually writes the check. You would have the influencer, who is actually the person who needs the product or service and is going to influence it. And then you would have the buying group, which could be made of different people within the organization who this product or service is going to affect. The sixth would be the corporate structure. Where does your product fall within the corporate structure? And what is the positive business outcome that it is going to produce for the buying group? So if you take a look at that and you start to develop a cadence strategy, and let me just toggle back into different screens, you start to understand who and when and how you're going to touch the individual. Right here, we've put together a sample cadence strategy. It's for a 10-day sequence. This 5 outbound calls, you're going to leave 3 voicemails, you're going to leave emails, and you're going to touch them from social media. So all of the different omni-channel strategies, not every time you make a call are you going to leave a voicemail. Not every time that you make a call and leave a voicemail are you going to leave an email. So the objective here is to change it up every time that you engage on a systematic strategy in order to get a response from your client. And once you engage, you can start to go through the profiling process. So in closing, I know we've covered a lot in a short amount of time, but what I'd like to do is take you back to a couple of things that I think are extremely important. When you start to develop your SDR team, you need to develop a role-based production scenario through business process engineering. As I showed you the business process map, but this slide kind of puts it all together in the 3 things that I want to make sure that we take away is that you put together and develop a role-based SDR team where they're focused on the top of the funnel and creating opportunities for the rest of your business development team. We use Anim, some people use Bant, but also that you develop strict closed loop processes so when there's handoffs, everybody within the organization knows what's to be expected and what the outcomes are. The other is to develop playbooks. Playbooks are simply levers that the SDR pulls to understand where they are at any given point when they engage with the client. This helps them from repeating previous conversations, helps them develop a clear understanding of where they are within the opportunity development, and also makes for a more professional and concise conversation with your prospect. The other is, how do you use technology and enablement? There's a number of different technologies out there. We have a technology stack that exists with probably about 4 or 5 different tools. We have our standard CRM, we're Salesforce Shop. We use that. We also use sales acceleration technology, inside sales being one of them. We do use coaching technology, such as Wide Angle. We also use presentation technology, such as ClearSlide. All of these things are driven to help us produce the best analytics. We measure talk time, we measure conversions, we measure all the different types of transactional metrics, such as leads converted, leads developed, leads won, leads lost, opportunities won, opportunities lost. But the biggest and most influential metric that we look at on a day-to-day basis is revenue. How much revenue are we producing and setting up for our business development team to win and close in any given quarter? Here I gave you an example of a third quarter metric from one of our SDRs who is actually having a pretty good quarter. They've developed and won over $500,000 worth of business, which is about half their goal for the quarter. They're on about $1 million goal per quarter, which is annualized at about $4 million. They created almost triple the size of that in opportunities. We like to see 4x. So within this given customer, our win ratio is about 25%, so we would like to see the opportunities created a little bit higher. But if you were to do the math and see the opportunities that were lost versus the opportunities that were won, the average deal size is about 50% higher. It's about 70,000 on opportunities won versus around 40,000, maybe a little bit more on opportunities lost. So all that was used by using the scorecard to make sure that we understand what are the best opportunities to go for, ideal customer profiles aligned to your strategy, along with ideal personas identified during the buying process. So I hope you enjoyed that 10-minute, 15-minute overview of our SDR process. If you're interested, you can certainly contact me. I'll pull up my contact information again. You're more than welcome to reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter, and then we can engage in a conversation. I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you for your time today.